Hey folks, Randy here with Dual Cut and Trim. So I wanted to do a review on XBLADES. I've been running them off and on for about a week. I wanted to test them in different types of grasses, different lengths of grasses, on weekly lawns, bi-weekly lawns, tri-weekly lawns, super overgrown lawns, lawns that are maintained on a regular basis. I just wanted to test them all out and see what I thought, and so I could kind of say whether or not or at least give my opinion on whether or not XBLADES are actually worth it. And so I got to tell you, based on I've probably mowed 80 or 90 lawns at this point with this XBLADES setup, and I mean, XBLADES are pretty awesome, but I'm not sure that they're actually necessary for most applications. There are some applications where XBLADES are just amazing, but I'll kind of go down. I'll kind of break it down for you, and we can, figure this out together. Let me see if I can do something better with this microphone. So the XBLADES I got, these are actually from Ballard Inc. So for this set, which is mulching blades, and then I think these are medium lift blades, stacked on top of each other. So you got the lift blades on the bottom, and then you got the mulching blades on top, and in between there's this bracket. Hold on, so you can see. In between there's this bracket which keeps the blades at a perfect 90-degree angle to each other. That's just a spacer I don't want to lose. And so I ran them on all the different types of grass. And so, and this set of 4 blades with the spacer and everything, that cost me $80. Which, for 2 sets of blades and a spacer deal, I actually thought that was a good price. If I'd gone OEM, it would have cost way more. So the thing about XBLADES is it really depends on what your lawns are. Ideally, if I can't imagine taking the time to do this, but ideally XBLADES would be something you would take on or off depending on the application. So, like I'll just give you an example. I have a weekly account that I do, and I have different types of customers, but that weekly account, these blades are not useful for, because these are people that want to keep their lawn looking nice. They're not just looking to get their grass cut, but they keep their lawn looking nice. So I mow their lawn weekly, and there's not a whole lot of growth during that time. So I'm only cutting, maybe an inch and a half of grass when I go to their property. XBLADES are a complete waste of time. Just a 1 set of blades is more than enough to take care of that. The clippings are small enough that it doesn't matter. It disperses them, it doesn't matter. XBLADES, you don't need them on that. Now, where XBLADES do come in really handy sometimes, I would say most of the time for me, is when it comes to bi-weekly lawns. So the issue I had with people that have bi-weekly lawns is they're looking for a lawn service. They don't want to pay that much, but they still want it to look good. And so you charge a little bit more, or at least I do. So if a lawn is $35 for weekly, if they want bi-weekly, I'm going to charge $45. And that's because there could be some extra cutting involved, because the grass is longer. But an issue that I constantly ran into, no matter what, was that even if I double cut, I still had clippings all over the place. They were just laying on the ground. And ironically, bi-weekly customers tend to be more picky than weekly customers. And they would complain about the clippings being left on the ground. Well, an XBLADES system really solves that problem for me, because the combination of cutting the clippings with this down here, cutting them up here, and then shredding them, with these blades or whatever you call it up here, it really minces up the clippings a lot. So it is way less. There are customers that I have that literally, I would cut their lawn every 2 weeks, and after each cut, I would have to go back through the lawn and disperse the clippings with the blower, just because there's so many of them, and you just want to spread them out. I don't have to do that with these. There are lawns that I had to double cut, bi-weekly lawns that I would have to double cut. When these blades are on there, I don't have to do that. It just pulverizes those clippings. Now, in my experience, this doesn't do anything to deal with stragglers. So like you got some grass that like it's really thin, and so when you mowing it, it kind of bends over and then pops back up once you've passed over it. I don't really see this being all that helpful. I don't. The other thing actually that's pretty interesting about running XBLADES is, at least on my mower, I'm running a 36 Bradley walk behind hydro mower. At least on my mower, this makes it so the clippings shoot a lot further out the side of the mower. If I have just one blade on, it will shoot out maybe like a pass and a half. If I have XBLADES on, it's shooting at 3.5 passes. So you're getting a much greater dispersal of the clippings with this. Now, the one thing that everyone says, and I got to test this out this week, is that XBLADES are amazing when you're doing when you're mulching up leaves. And I actually got to test that out the other day, and yeah, XBLADES are unbelievable when it comes to dispersing clippings or mulching up leaves. I was shocked. I mean, it really just turns them to dust. So they're really great for cleanups. So really, if you want to run XBLADES or not, I really think it depends on the type of lawns that you're running. If your weekly accounts, if that's all you accept, then you probably don't need XBLADES. It probably would be a waste. If you are like me and you have bi-weekly lawns, especially if you have bi-weekly lawns where they fertilize, XBLADES really come in handy. I do know that people have said that running XBLADES will make your belts wear out faster and make your spindles wear out faster. I don't know. Time will tell. I already had to replace the belt that was on there, but that was actually, and folks thought that was because I put XBLADES on the machine, but it wasn't. I had screwed up with that belt, and it had come off the pulley, and when I put it back on, I put it outside of a guide instead of inside the guide, and so when I fired up the blades, it was just rubbing against that guide, and it was burning the belt up, and that's what screwed that belt up. So, but even if it does make the belts wear out faster, the blade belt for my mower is $27 on Amazon. So, if I get, I don't know, 120 hours on a belt instead of 130, 140, I'm not really that worried about it. As far as the pulleys go, or the spindles go, I don't know. The last mower I had spindles on it that were 25 years old. I have no idea with Bradley how long I should expect the spindles to last. But replacing them wouldn't be that big of a deal. So I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm just not that worried about it. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. And actually, the spindles that are on the Bradley look like they're serviceable, which, on my Toro, they really weren't. You had to just replace them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I've been using them for a little bit now and wanted to give you guys my impressions. I like having them. I don't use them every day. But when you have to do an overgrown yard or a bi-weekly lawn that really should be a weekly, these really, really, really come in handy. And I like the setup where you got the mid lift or high lift, whatever these are, on the bottom, and then you got the mulching blade on top. This does lower the blades by a 1/4 inch. So with Bradley, the highest you could mow was 4 inches. With this, that brings it down to 3¼ inches, which I just thought was dumb. So I put the 1/4 inch spacer on top of that, so that I'm mowing at 3½ inches by default, which my customers are fine with. And then if I need to go lower, I can. Yeah, I just wanted to pass this on to you guys. This is my review of the XBLADES. I got these from Ballard Inc. They were $80. I like them. So hope this was helpful to you. It's Randy with Dolan Cut and Trim. Have a good one.